You've been sensing it for a long time now, a quiet stirring deep inside. It shows up in those still moments when the world grows silent and even your own thoughts soften. In the pauses between your prayers and your hopes, something in your spirit whispers that there is someone out there for you. Someone chosen, someone already written beside your name in the unseen pages of destiny before you ever took your first breath. This isn't just a love story. It's about alignment, about sacred timing, about a connection that rises above the physical and reaches the soul. And now, heaven is beginning to unveil the first glimpse of it. The person you're destined to marry is already known in the spiritual realm. Their face has been shown to the angels who watch over you. Yet God, in His mercy, has kept some things hidden until now, not to keep you in the dark, but to shield your heart while it was healing. That healing has begun. The broken pieces are being gathered. The trust that was lost, the hope that felt shattered, the faith bruised by past disappointments. All of it is being restored. Because the bond you're about to enter will need your whole, renewed self. Here's something you felt, but perhaps never spoken aloud. The person you're going to marry has already sensed your spirit before you ever shared the same space. They've dreamed of you. They've wondered if they were imagining things, if it was crazy to believe someone out there was meant just for them. Their journey hasn't been flawless. They've chosen wrong relationships, listened to the wrong voices, taken detours. But at the center of all their wandering, there's always been a spiritual thread tied to your name. Every heartbreak shaped them. Every delay prepared them to hold your heart with reverence. You'll be astonished when you discover who they truly are. The world sees their outer layer, their beauty, their style, their words, but heaven sees beyond. Inside burns a fire that mirrors yours. In their eyes lives a gentleness no one taught them. It was gifted. Their heart carries a loyalty that storms cannot shake. But they also carry a past. They hold secrets never spoken. They wrestle with thoughts in silence. God reveals this now not to frighten you, but to ready you. Because love is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about the spirit recognizing its reflection in another. This person, the one destined for you, has fought battles like yours. They too have known betrayal, abandonment at moments when love was needed most. They've built walls, worn masks, smiled in rooms where they wanted to scream. And yet, a whisper kept them alive, the same whisper that has kept you. You're meant for someone different. And now the timing has shifted. The cycle has turned. Heaven is sweeping away every false face, every wrong voice, every counterfeit tie that tried to cloud what was always meant to be clear. Don't be surprised when your paths cross in an unexpected way. It may not unfold as you pictured it. It may not begin with cinematic sparks or grand gestures. It might start as a friendship, through divine timing, through a conversation that touches you deeper than any touch ever could. The angels are weaving this bond, not for public spectacle, but for private healing. Before love can be declared aloud, it must be felt in silence. That sacred, silent connection is already forming in the unseen space around you. God is intentional about who He allows to shape your future. That's why He's removed certain people recently. That's why the ones you thought were the one turned out to be lessons. They weren't mistakes. They were rehearsals, preparation. You learned to set boundaries, to recognize red flags, to speak your truth even when your voice trembled. All of it was so the real connection, the one approaching now, could meet a healed version of you, not a half-formed version. Archangel Michael has been guarding your heart since the day you first cried out for real love. Every time someone tried to enter your life under false pretenses, he stood in the way. Even those who seemed perfect on the outside but carried hidden motives, he saw them and fought silently for you. You never realized the battles waged over your future marriage, but you felt the delays. Now you will feel the difference. Very soon there will come a moment when you look into their eyes and recognize something ancient, as if you've known them before, as if your souls were once part of the same breath. And you'll wonder, where were you all this time? But the truth is, they were always near. Heaven has been keeping the two of you hidden, not out of neglect, but out of care. Hidden until it was safe, until it was real, until the right moment arrived. You may find yourself tempted to overthink, to question whether what you're feeling is real. But God's answer is simple. You will recognize it not with logic, but with peace. The real one won't rush you, won't confuse you, won't twist your love. They will speak to your spirit long before they ever speak to your body. They will see your flaws and call them beautiful. They will sit with your silence and still feel connected. And that is what's approaching now. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You're not cursed. You are being aligned. This message isn't random. It's confirmation. Someone who has been molded by fire, softened by loss, and strengthened by storms is finally ready to love you. Not from emptiness, but from overflow. So prepare yourself, beloved. You're not just about to meet someone. You're about to recognize someone. And when you do, the pieces will click into place. The pain will make sense. The delays will feel like mercy. Your heart will finally whisper, "This is what I've been waiting for." There's something sacred about divine timing. It can't be forced. It can't be predicted. But when it arrives, your soul knows. Right now, heaven is leaning close, whispering truths you've longed to hear. This isn't only about marriage. It's about the soul mirror assigned to walk with you into every chapter your destiny holds. It's about purpose. It's about legacy. It's about a love that doesn't just touch the skin, but revives the soul. The one you're destined to marry carries a story deeper than their smile, more intricate than their charm. They've walked through fire and kept their softness. They've cried in solitude and still chosen kindness. They weren't born perfect. They've been shaped by pain into someone who can love deeply, remain faithful, and stand firm when life trembles. And yet, what you've glimpsed so far is only a fraction. Heaven is revealing more now, not to overwhelm you, but to ready you for what's ahead. This person has been more aware of you than you realize. Spiritually, their soul has felt your presence in this world. Maybe not consciously, not through earthly details, but through energy, through dreams, through quiet moments when their heart felt a pull they couldn't explain. You're not a stranger to their spirit. You are a familiar ache, a remembered prayer. They may not have your picture, but they carry your frequency, and it has been guiding them slowly and surely toward you. What will truly still you is the part of them no one else knows, the hidden corners of their mind. They are strong, yes, but they also hold burdens unseen. There are nights when they question their worth, moments when they overthink every word, times when they stare into the mirror and wonder if they'll ever be enough for someone who truly sees them. Not for insecurity, but from years of being misunderstood. They once gave their heart to someone who mishandled it. They trusted people who used their kindness. They offered chances to souls who weren't ready. And each time, they walked away with less, until they learned, until they grew, until they surrendered and prayed, "God, only send me the one made for me." That was when heaven began shifting things. That was when your names were spoken again before the throne. That was when angels were reassigned, not only to guard you separately, but to prepare the path for your meeting. And now that preparation is nearly complete, their heart is softening, their mind is healing, their spirit is learning to trust again. And you, yes, you, are walking into their vision with a kind of light they thought no longer existed. You are the answer to the prayer they stopped praying. You are the sound of peace they thought they'd never hear. Yet this love will not shout. It will be calm, gentle, familiar, a sense of "I know you. I've known you forever." You'll notice the depth in their eyes, not the depth that tries to impress, but the depth that speaks without words. Their hands will be tender, not just in touch, but in action. How they serve, how they support, how they hold space for you. They will listen with patience, respond with grace, and love without games. But do not mistake their gentleness for weakness. They carry fire too. They will protect you quietly and fiercely. They will speak truth when others hide behind comfort. They will call out your strength when you're tempted to shrink from it. You'll be amazed at how spiritual they are. Not because they quote scripture, but because they live compassion. Because they pray for you before meeting you. Because they treat strangers with dignity. because they guard your name even in rooms you've never entered. That is the real face behind their face, the true mind behind their smile. And heaven is allowing you to glimpse it now, so you'll recognize it when it appears in real life. You might feel unready. You might look at your own life and think, but I'm still healing. I'm still waiting. I'm still uncertain. But God reminds you, you don't need to be perfect to be loved well. You only need to be open. The right one won't expect you to arrive whole. They'll walk with you as you become whole. They won't try to fix you. They'll love you while you rise. They won't control you. They'll partner with you. And yes, there'll be trials. But trials won't frighten this person. They've weathered storms of their own. What they seek is peace, stability, laughter in ordinary moments, prayer in quiet hours, dancing in the kitchen, holding your hand when the rest of the world feels like it's falling apart, building something together that no one else can break. You don't need to fear who is coming. You don't need to worry that you'll miss them. The bond will be undeniable. When the moment comes, every voice that told you, you're too much, you'll never find someone who understands you, will fall silent, silenced by a single look, a single touch, a single sacred recognition. So prepare yourself, not by striving, but by surrendering, by being fully present in your own healing, by leaning in when God speaks through whispers, by trusting that the waiting was not rejection, but design. Heaven has been protecting what your heart didn't yet know it needed. And now, the angels are drawing closer, wrapping this connection in light, creating divine intersections in time. Somewhere, even as you hear these words, the one you're destined to marry is sensing a shift too. They don't know why yet, but soon they will, because love like this cannot stay hidden forever. When it arrives, when you see their face, hear their heart, and recognize their soul, you will know. This is the one heaven promised. The path to true love has never been straight, smooth, or predictable. For someone chosen, someone marked by heaven, it was never meant to be. The person you're destined for is not late. They are arriving right on divine time. This is the hour when both of your spirits are awakening, not only to love, but to something deeper, something older than time, something written in heaven before the earth even called your name. This person isn't the type who craves attention. They don't need to be the loudest voice in the room, yet their silence carries weight. They've walked through storms, more than one. There were days they could have surrendered, but they didn't. They endured betrayal from someone they thought would never leave. They swallowed tears in public places. They sat in their car after work and whispered to God, "Will I ever be loved the way I was created to be loved?" And still, they didn't shut down. They didn't give up on love. Instead, they began to pray for someone real, someone who wouldn't use them, confuse them, or would try to change them. They began to pray for you. Yes, you, the one who also endured betrayal, the one who also spent sleepless nights asking the same questions, the one who smiled at couples while carrying quiet grief inside, the one who wondered if love this deep was just a fairy tale. But the story is being rewritten, not with fantasy, but with faith. Because the connection waiting for you isn't man-made. It's authored by heaven. You'll be surprised by how familiar they feel, not just in appearance or words, but in how their presence settles your soul. There will be no rush, no pressure, only peace. The kind of peace that says, you can stop surviving now. You can breathe. You are safe here. They will hold your hand with honor, not control. They will speak with honesty, not performance. And for the first time in a long time, you won't feel like you need to prove your worth. They will already see it, and they will protect it. But here is something sacred. The face you'll see is not the face heaven sees, because their true face isn't physical, it's spiritual. And it looks like grace, like patience, like quiet strength and fierce loyalty. They will carry your burdens when words fail you. They will pray for you in rooms you'll never step into. They will study your soul the way others study trends, not to fix, but to understand. Their love language will be consistency. In their mind, it may surprise you, because while they are gentle and loving, they are also brilliant, deep thinkers, emotional processors. They will notice details others overlook. The way your eyes shift when you're tired, the way you retreat when you're overwhelmed, the way your energy changes when someone crosses your boundaries. They will hold this knowledge with reverence. They won't weaponize it. They won't use it to wound you. They'll use it to shield you when you can't shield yourself. But don't expect perfection. They've made mistakes. They've hurt and been hurt. They are still healing patterns, still softening triggers, still learning. But they are committed to truth, to growth, to God, to love. And that changes everything. They aren't showing up to save you. They're showing up to stand beside you as a partner. And that is exactly what your soul has been waiting for all along. With them, conversations won't just be about plans or dreams. They'll reach into deeper places. You'll talk about pain and healing, about purpose and eternity. You'll laugh together over small, silly things. You'll cry together through the weightier moments. You'll create daily rhythms that feel sacred. Coffee in the morning, long walks in the evening, praying before decisions, holding one another in silence when words feel too heavy. Through this love, you'll rediscover parts of yourself you thought were gone. Creativity, joy, gentleness, wonder. And the healing won't remain only between the two of you. Your union will radiate outward, touching others. Friends will notice your peace and say, "Something about you is different." Strangers will assume you've been together forever. And in your hearts, it will feel like forever. Not because the journey was easy, but because it was written. The one you meant to marry has been protected, too. Guarded from false loves, wrong paths, and choices that could have broken their destiny. The same angels who shielded you have hovered over them as well. There were moments when they nearly gave up, but God intervened. There were voices that tried to mislead them, but heaven redirected their steps. Now both of you are arriving, not perfect but aligned. You will recognize them, not because they complete you, but because they affirm the completeness already in you. They will challenge your fears with truth. They will remind you of who you are when the world tries to make you forget. They won't walk ahead of you or behind you. They'll walk beside you, shoulder to shoulder, spirit to spirit. And when you look at them, when you hear your name spoken in their voice, when you feel that sacred recognition, your soul will whisper, "It was worth the wait." Because real love, the kind heaven authors, doesn't just arrive, it returns. Somewhere in the silence you kept, in the prayers you whispered into your pillow at midnight, heaven began writing a story, not only for you, but through you. A story not built on fantasy or flawless people, but on sacred alignment. Two hearts shaped in different seasons, refined by different fires, yet destined to become one flame. Now, as your spirit leans in closer, God is lifting the veil a little more, letting you glimpse the mystery of the one you are about to marry. They weren't sent to erase loneliness. They were sent to answer your calling. They are not arriving because you're desperate for love. They're arriving because your soul has completed a preparation you didn't even know you were undergoing. All those days you thought were wasted, the nights your chest ached with no words for the pain, they weren't empty. They were sacred seasons. Heaven was tending the soil of your heart, pulling out weeds planted by false loves, shallow promises, temporary hands. And now something holy is ready to bloom. You've already caught glimpses of them, maybe in dreams, visions, or feelings too vivid to ignore. But what you haven't yet seen is how deeply they reflect your own spirit. The softness you carry, they hold it too, though they rarely show it. The fire in you that refuses to quit, they burn with it as well. Even when they feel unseen, they keep going. You'll be amazed not because they are perfect, but because they are familiar. They will feel like home, not the house of your past, but the home your spirit has always longed for. Their face is more than features. It carries intention. They smile with purpose. They listen without pretending. And when they look at you, their gaze will move past the surface and into your essence, who you are when no one else is watching. They won't celebrate you for performance. They will honor you for presence. Their mind is layered, deep, thoughtful, a mix of quiet storms and golden skies. They may not speak often, but when they do, their words will land in you like seeds. Days later, those words will bloom when you need them most. Their thoughts are not driven by ego, but by purpose. They think before they speak, feel before they react, sense energy before they judge. That sensitivity will surprise you, because you've never known someone so aware, so attuned, so spiritually awake. But understand, this isn't only about compatibility. It's about calling.